Welcome, and once again, thanks for joining me on my GameFi journey to find the next big game. I'm Eric, and this is the channel where I do the research so you don't have to. For episode 5, we're going to talk about a game that's actually out already. It's called Crypto. So let's look at the game, team, tokenomics, and see if the token looks promising, especially as the BCOIN Token has dropped 50% from its all-time highs as I record this today. Everything's timestamped below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to discover more games. Of course, this isn't financial advice. It's purely for entertainment purposes. Let's get into this game. All right, this is the homepage of bombcrypto.io. You can tell it's a pixel graphic type game, and it's a clone of BOMBERMAN, which, I mean, everyone loved. I still remember playing those games in high school on my TI-83 calculator. So it's very easy to do. You just click play now, and then it takes you, after you do login and whatnot, link your account. Here's the homepage. So there's 3 modes: active, treasure hunt, and battle. Right now, all that's available is treasure. So I started playing this game myself, so I'll kind of tell you my earnings and whatnot. But let me just show you treasure hunt. So you can tell I'm not doing anything right now. I've already, basically treasure hunt is your characters that you've purchased automatically will go around and blow things up. My guys are, 3 out of my 4 guys are sleeping. So it looks kind of boring right now. And also, I only have 1 chest left. But normally, these guys are running around at various speeds based on their skill. And just as an example, so I bought 4 heroes, which cost 40 BCOIN tokens. And in a half a day, I've already collected 1.21 BCOINs. I can't claim any until 40. But, if I can get 1.21, let's say I get 1.21 tokens in a full day, that's already going to make up for my initial payment in less than 2 months. So just based on my half-day experience, this seems to be a pretty worthwhile game to play. So just because in my current game, like I showed you, everything was empty on the board, I wanted to just quickly show some of the gameplay when things are actually happening. This is just from their demo on YouTube. So you can see here, pretty much everyone's moving around all on their own. You can have 15 heroes max. And yeah, basically they're just blowing stuff up. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's full. But most of the time you're going to just set it, put it to a separate window, and just wait for the energy to go away anyways. Let's also talk about the adventure mode, because that's coming out soon. Now, the adventure mode, here's a little snippet of their most recent YouTube. So basically, this is the one where it's very similar to BOMBERMAN, where you pick your one guy and you're fighting off enemies and exploring. Well, exploring meaning just blowing the map up. And there's bosses, I guess, also to fight. And I'm assuming you should be earning rewards also for this. Let's see what else they got here. Yeah, so there's an unlock. So what happens, I wasn't so sure on it, but basically you need a key to unlock the adventure mode. I don't know if it's every level or just access to the entire adventure mode, but those keys are found through the treasure hunt mode. And so you're not going to be able to escape the idle aspect of this game right away. You will need to have your characters running idly so that they can find the keys in the mode to play adventure. All right, going back to the homepage, one thing I really like about this website is that they make it very easy to get set up. They have a very good instruction page. So you can tell right here, getting started, they'll tell you the steps. But even beyond that, yeah, they have very good instructions, very thorough instructions as to how to even get MetaMask. So they start from the very beginning, which is great. Another thing, apart from the getting started, if you want further detail, is they have this guide page, which are full-on YouTube videos. They're about 2 to 3 minutes in length. And again, if you need a little further more detail and to actually see how to set up your MetaMask, how to buy heroes, how to upgrade, and the mechanisms behind that, this main page with these 6 guides is the way to go. I haven't seen any other game explain how to get set up and play in such detail. So they did a really good job on that part right there. All right, since we started looking at the in-game and game menus and everything, let's talk about the token use cases and buy and supply side within the game first before we start looking at the token info and token distribution. So as I mentioned, you need to spend 10 BCOIN tokens in order to purchase your hero. And they all show up on the hero page. So I should say I did end up getting a super rare, which is like the 3rd highest tier. They have, I think there are 5 tiers. And so depending on how rare your creature is, they don't tell you the percentage, the drop rate of these rarities, but that more rare it is, the better the stats and the faster they will mine. So my number is based on the fact that I did have 1 super rare. But you can see all of them there. The other thing you can purchase with BCOINs is a house. And these houses, every hero has a attribute for their stamina, and it excuse me, you could see that once their energy is gone, they replenish 0.5 energy per minute, unless you have a house, in which case the rates go faster. But you know, these cheaper ones are sold out, and so if you're gonna buy a house, 5,400, that's over $20,000 for the next available cheapest house. And yeah, it's a pretty big investment to make. So I don't think I'll be doing that yet. The third thing to spend your B coins on are upgrades. You can see, as I mentioned, every person has their own skill set. And if you want to upgrade them, what you can do is combine your heroes. So you can basically sacrifice some of your heroes to upgrade others. And in addition to losing your hero, you have to pay a certain amount of BCOIN to upgrade. So that's, people are going to be spending their BCOIN in order to, of course, make their heroes stronger so that they can mine faster. Lastly, looking at the roadmap, you can see that coming in Q1 of 2022, they are going to have a VIP and staking section. And the VIP, pretty much they're going to have different tiers based on how many coins you hold or stake. And if depending on what level you're at, you'll get better benefits to your better skills and upgrades to your heroes. And not only that, but staking, you will be able to, of course, earn a set APR based on how many BCOINs you stake. So those are all the in-game kind of buy pressures. All right, let's look at the BCOIN token distribution. Currently, right now, it's at 440, which gives you a fully diluted market cap of 440 million. it's considering the game's already out and there's an actual product. It seems reasonable. As I mentioned, it just dropped recently from its peak at $8, so it's around half that now. I guess the other thing is, to get in to the game, you have to buy a hero, and that's going to cost $44 to get one hero, of which you're probably going to want to buy more than that to speed the process up. Let's look at the lockups. The private sale, which is 6% of the tokens, that has it's only locked for 1 month, and it's vesting at 10% monthly. So the private sale is people are already beginning to sell that, or they can sell it if they want. The team and advisors, however, are locked for a year. And again, this is starting from October 2021. And then it vests linearly over 1 year. So they're not going to be able to start selling their tokens until October of 2022. So that'll kind of be a good, I guess, date to keep in mind, just to track and see if these tokens are starting to drop around that time. Because if they are, you know why. It's because the team and advisors are starting to sell their tokens. All right, let's take a quick glance at the team. Since the game's already out, the mechanisms are all out and developed. We can kind of more base the game on the product than the actual team. But let's look, and without looking at specific people on the team, you can see that they're all from this company, SenSpark, and they've been around since 2011, and already, they have a pretty good track record. They have all these, they specialize in mobile games, and it's gotten a lot of reviews. They're based in Vietnam, so we probably haven't heard of any of them in the States, but you could see that these number of reviews or the number of downloads are pretty high. So it seems like they know what they're doing in the mobile space. Let's look at the investors and partners. Just looking at this top line, their biggest investors probably. Just scroll through and see what they all do. Remitiano. Sorry, they're pretty much an exchange. They're based in Seychelles. Then you got VNDC, which is a stable coin and also kind of like a fiat on-ramp focused in Vietnam. Launch Zone, which is an exchange. Cardia Ventures, it seems to be a kind of a networking / incubator, but also technical support. And again, they're also based in Vietnam. And then you got CRVN Capital, which is another incubation. Just kind of taking a step back from this specific game, what my goal to do is I want to kind of tabulate, the bigger investors in all these projects I'm reviewing, just to kind of get an idea of who's showing up where, so I can kind of figure out over the long term, which, long term meaning maybe like 3 to 6 months, just to figure out, okay, well, which tokens have failed, which tokens are going strong, just to see, just to kind of try to put some rankings on these incubators and VC funds, because it's really hard to, you see this CRVN Capital, for example, but you don't really know what their track record is. But yeah, what I want to do is kind of slowly try to put some kind of not arbitrary, but try to put some rating on these companies. So look for that in the near future. But of course, it takes time to figure out which tokens have actually succeeded and failed. All right, let's look at the social metrics now. Because this game's out, they are on DApp Radar, and not only that, they're one of the top Binance Smart Chain games on DApp Radar. you can see that there are around 35,000 users in a 24-hour period. If we kind of zoom out, there's been over 300, almost 400,000 users over a 30-day, and it's been pretty steady, the number of users during that time. You can see all the metrics here. You know, overall, it seems to be on a well, apart from this drop, I have a feeling this is kind of when maybe the Binance Smart Chain network was down or congested, but it seems to be a somewhat of an uptrend since the game's been out. So I do feel like it is gaining traction, which is a good thing. Looking at the social numbers. Discord is by far and away the biggest, has the biggest following with 240,000 people. Twitter 89,000 and Telegram 110. I will say that Telegram is probably not a good route to go, just because there's a lot of spam in that channel. It doesn't seem very well regulated. Twitter's great, you know, of course, for all the most up-to-date announcements and YouTube sneak peeks. But if you want to ask questions or get more info, I think Discord is the way to go with BOMBERMAN. All right, let's take a look at my kind of the final thoughts of this game. Pros, you know, assuming the token price levels out at some point, which, you know, is never a guarantee, the returns seem to be pretty good. Like I said, I bought 40 tokens to buy 4 heroes, and in a half a day, I've already earned 1.5 of my tokens back. So I'll break even in a month at that rate. The website, you know, they have a great tutorial and instructions for how to get started. So somebody that's not familiar at all with crypto can hop in pretty easily with the instructions that the website's provided. And also, you know, the game itself is very simple, easy to understand and play. If you like idle games, I think it's definitely worth giving a shot, and especially with the adventure mode and battle mode coming soon. You know, there's a lot more potential to really get engaged and more incentive to spend those tokens to upgrade your heroes. Cons: barrier to entry is high. Like I said, each token right now is about $4.40. So to get one hero, you're going to be spending $44, and you probably won't want just one hero to start. The other thing is that this is kind of a longer term issue. There's no profit sharing for this game. So, excuse me, all the BCOIN tokens that you're spending in this game is going right back to the team, and those coins, you know, they can just be sold by the team to fund themselves. So it would be nice to see a portion of these tokens being spent, you know, going back into like the staking pool, for example, so that it can be distributed to stakers. Hopefully something like that can happen in the future, but right now there isn't that mechanism set up. But that's something that, you know, the community should be pushing for the team to implement. And yeah, I think that's it. I could see why this game is one of the highest rated or highest played games on the Binance Smart Chain right now. And me myself, like I said, I'm gonna continue to play as well. So, you know, let me know if what you thought. Let me know if you have any good tips for the game, because I'm still learning myself. But so far, so good. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.